Well, hello, friends. And this is QK Active. I looked it up and we're going to read it. Okay. Cooperation was an unavoidable evil. Chapter 8. Declassified and released by the CNOA agency. The National Security Council's charter granted the Office of Policy Coordination considerable leeway to support anti-communist groups. OPC's expansion brought it into contact with thousands of men and women throughout Europe. In particular, OPC's interest in black propaganda, paramilitary groups, and stay-behind forces in the event of a Third World War drove it to seek out Europeans with anti-communist credentials. If these same individuals also had military experience, combined with knowledge of Eastern or Southeastern European geology, language, and culture, so much the better. Many of the people that OPC desired shared another common link. Their anti-communism had led them to support the Nazis during the war. Really? By 1948, the Russian groups in Germany, from both the old and new immigration, that is, those who fled after the Bolshevik Revolution or who came out of Russia during World War II, had recognized from the turmoil of the war and the Allied reparations. These groups and their various splinter organizations soon allocated for American support while biding their time in overcrowded DP camps. Almost all of the leaders had collaborated with the Germans during the war in one form or another. In early 49, a retired Foreign Service officer now working for the Office of Policy Coordination began a study of Russian emigre groups and their usefulness to American intelligence. Following many of the leads initially proposed by Wisner in Sanac 395 in his paper, Utilization of Russian Political Refugees in Germany and Austria, advocated the establishment of a Russian Welfare Committee, envisioned that this committee would broadcast messages to the Soviet Union and its aliens, as well as support other propaganda efforts against the communists in Eastern Europe. Ideas quickly found fertile soil in OPC and the State Department. By September 1949, OPC moved ahead with proposal, a QK active proposal, although doubts remained about the overall relationships of the new group with the State Department, OPC, and OPC's newly formed National Committee for a Free Europe in order to determine the extent of Russian anti-communist activity in Europe, went to West Germany to survey the various emigre groups, using his cover as paper as, Clandestine Services Historical Series. 1979, project sought to establish contact with, exploit, and direct the major Russian anti-Soviet political groups and have as their objective the overthrow of the Soviet regime. Project dealt with the formation of a Russian Welfare Committee. The State Department authorized OPC to establish the Russian Welfare Committee on September 13, 1949. In the meantime, worked with blank and blank to establish contact with Russian groups in Germany and U.S. So, look up QK Active. Everybody Kennedy was associated with QK Active were killed off in 63 with him. They're back. And they're called Q.